Well, the nation awoke to the news this morning that the government was reopening after the president signed just after midnight a deal to postpone the budget crisis. The deal funds the government and authorizes the government to borrow money to pay its bills, but only until early next year. Thousands of furloughed federal workers were called back to their jobs, including Richard Dorner, the man who winds the historic clock in the Senate, the Ohio clock as it is known. It stopped during the shutdown. National parks, including the Lincoln Memorial, reopened, and on Wall Street, the S&P 500 celebrated by closing at an all-time high. But work on a budget deal is just beginning. Nancy Cordes is on Capitol Hill.
Bright and early this morning, lawmakers launched the spending negotiations that were a key provision in the bipartisan deal to reopen the government.
Our job over the next 8 weeks is to find out what we can agree on, and we have agreed that we are going to look at everything in front of us.
The top negotiators are Senate Budget Chair Patty Murray and House Budget Chair Paul Ryan. They'll have to find a compromise between Democratic and Republican budgets that are $4 trillion apart.
Is there a specific dollar amount in deficit reduction you're aiming for?
It's too premature to get into numbers. We're just starting our discussions, but let's understand what we're doing here. We're going back to regular order. This is the budget process. The House passes a budget, the Senate passes a budget. You come together to try and reconcile the differences.
The biggest difference is the Republican budget calls for revamping Medicare, giving seniors vouchers to buy insurance. Democrats say no. The Democratic budget calls for nearly $1 trillion in new tax revenue. Republicans say no. The two sides are so far apart they have not even attempted to combine their budgets in 4 years, which has led to funding fights like the one that just ended.
The yeas are 285, the nays are 144.
Democrat Chris Van Hollen tried to temper expectations for these talks.
Nobody can guarantee success, but what we can say is that if we don't make the effort and get together and talk, that would guarantee failure.
If they do fail, lawmakers could be fighting over another short-term funding measure when this one expires in January. But the Senate Republican leader Mitch McConnell said in an interview today that his party will not be provoking any more shutdowns, sending a message to his House counterpart, Scott, that he doesn't believe this strategy is a winner.
Nancy, thank you.